Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and it's time for the youorns 10-minute take of Preston nil, Watford nil. That was the scoreline from Deepdale. Two teams unbeaten coming into this fifth championship match of the season. Preston had not conceded a goal throughout this campaign, and that continued today. Watford have been stellar defensively as well. I think that Watford here today were fortunate to come out with a point, especially after that first half barrage from Preston. They absolutely dominated the first half of the game, looked very good indeed. Watford did not look organised or balanced, and it was Daniel Backman that kept Watford in the game with some excellent saves. And he did so also in the second half of the game. But the problem for Watford in this game was their finishing. Watford's finishing was poor once again. It was in various moments in the game against Birmingham City on Tuesday night. And once again, today, it has shown us to be the thing that is the Achilles heel of this Watford side so far. But the mentality is there. What's one thing that is good news? The mentality to stick in and dig in against a team that I think had a lot of good moments today. A lot of the credit has to go to Preston for their endeavor and their busyness. They were very busy throughout the game with some very telling runs. They were the more composed, more organized team today. Watford, I think, got a bit more into the game in the second half. They gained a measure of composure. The defense was a lot better. I think Alta was very good today. I think he's been good throughout this season. And I think definitely holding up his end as a very solid defender in this league. And the midfield had been anchored well by Chowdhury Kayembe as well, particularly good today. I thought Kayembe was excellent. And Yasa Aspria in the attacking midfield role has really been golden so far for the Golden Boys. Two excellent passes by him, great passes by him to Raymond I, who could not finish. And that, again, as I said, the Achilles heel of this club thus far is their finishing. Vakun Bayo was a victim of that again today for the second game running. In the first 15 to 20 minutes, he had a golden opportunity to put the Golden Boys ahead, but his tame shot to the Preston goalkeeper meant that it stayed at 0-0. There were a few chances for Watford. They had 12 shots today, two of them on target. They just really could not gain a foothold with the end product. And that would be a concern for a number of people, certainly of a Watford persuasion, is the inability to finish these chances, especially away from home. Watford now average a shade under a goal a game. And with Keenan Davis not being judged to be match fit today, according to Watford and other sources, it meant that these two strikers had to really be on their game against the Preston side, who have been very stout defensively. I think this game missed Ismail Assar today, and it missed João Pedro, both of them out sidelined through injury or otherwise. And they certainly, I think, could have given a bit more zip to this game going forward. But ultimately, Preston dug in their heels, had some chances in the second half. It was an excellent block from Christian Cavacelle that prevented, I think, Preston from going ahead. But you got to thank Daniel Backman in the Watford goal today. He was the difference, really, when it all was said and done. Aspria, a standout, also Alta, but Kayembe was the one also today who gets a lot of credit for a very determined, resolute performance from Watford when it counted. Chowdhury, of course, we take him for granted now. 3 games in a Watford shirt, 3 great performances from him. But again, what we need is a cutting edge. And so far in this championship season, it's hard to see where that's coming from. But the bright side is this: Watford remain unbeaten. They are second in the table at the moment, early doors, but 9 points from the first 5 games. They've kept a clean sheet in 3 of those 5 games so far. The mentality is there to dig in when the adverse circumstances come, to dig in when they are against a team that shows a lot of ruthlessness, but they themselves lack the cutting edge as well. So I think 0-0 is just about right. And the bright side is, as I said, second place, 9 points, and not even playing at our best yet. The best performance we've had so far was the game at Birmingham the other night. And look, there's still a lot of upside to this team. I think Vakun Bayo will come good. It is frustrating to see him missing sitters, but I do think that once he is on song, and I don't think that'll take too much longer, I think he'll be right in the thick of things for Watford and will resemble the striker who scored 11 out of 16 at one of his previous clubs. And Raymond I, who scored, of course, on Tuesday night at Birmingham, I think will also find the back of the net again at some point soon. But we will see. These next 2+ weeks are going to be critical, of course, in the transfer market. We don't know as of yet where this forward line is going to be and what it looks like. And Keenan Davis, I think, was needed today, as I said, not match fit according to Watford. And I hope that he gets match fit soon, because certainly I think on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup match against MK Dons at the Vic, you probably will see him make an appearance. He might start the game, but we will see about all of that. All in all, for Watford, I think a fortunate point today. I think in the end, they probably deserved the point. Preston will be walking away much the unhappier side between these two. Daniel Backman continues to star in the Watford goal for the Watford cause. And overall, I think Rob Edwards got the substitutions right, brought in Gosling to consider to settle the game down and stick for the point. At that point, Joseph Hungbo came on as well, and he shows you again some real tenacity and good movement and good positivity. Really like how Hungbo has played these games when he's called upon, coming in later on in these games in the 80+ minute. I'd like to see Hungbo come on a little earlier in a game like this today. Perhaps we would have needed him a little bit earlier, maybe around the 70th minute or so, bring in a Joseph Hungbo and see what he can do. He will definitely liven up the channels and push for Watford forward a lot quicker than they have today. But all in all, for Watford, a game that they didn't play that well in the first half, but I did like their composure and mentality in the second half. And when that continues to gel, I think Watford actually are going to really become a lot more formidable than they are now. I think, again, the bright lining is, the good lining, the silver lining is that they have got 9 points already and they remain unbeaten when they've not played particularly well. And I think that once Watford really gel, especially with the end product, and they continue to play good football through their midfield and have a defensive settlement, a settled defense, I think you'll see something quite special. You've got Courtney Howes, who's probably going to be coming in soon. Stevens, we don't know yet. And, there's another player coming, rumored to come in, Martins from Fluminense. That's still on the rocks at the moment. We'll see how that goes. I've even heard rumors supposedly about Watford coming in for one or two others, but we will see how all of that pans out. But today, this is how the final score panned out for Watford. It was Preston 0, Watford 0. This has been the YouOrns 10-minute take.